Hey, what's up, Salt Yikers? Check it out. Look where we are today. We're at the old orange store. We're here today to talk about how to build a perfect starter's kayak crate on a budget. Y'all ready? Let's get in here. Hold up, time out real quick. If you're one of them guys that everything's got to be done just so, everything's square, plumb, beautiful, sanded, primed, just right and jigged before final assembly, you better skip this video. You're gonna hate it. Also, if you're one of them guys that worries about little things like, I don't know, maybe safety with power tools, you better scroll on by because this definitely ain't gonna be for you. Let's get going. Every now and then, you gotta just stop and smell the flowers. It's beautiful. But I think the food truck smells even better. Okay, so step one is to find the crate itself. Now, let me tell you something, guys. You can go to a kayak shop, you can get on Amazon. Yak Attack makes some awesome stuff. That Yak Attack Black Max, man, that thing's it's amazing. But remember, today we're on a budget and we don't want to spend all that high dollar money. Go to Home Depot, check this out. Come in their organizational, storage, whatever aisle where all their big tubs are and stuff. And let me show you a little secret that most folks don't know. Check it out. Here it is, and look, it's 12 bucks. Step one, completed. For step two, what do we need on our crate? We need some rod holders, right? That's gonna be the priority. You're gonna put all your bulky junk, your cast net, and all that stuff down in there. Now let's organize some rods. Let's go talk about how we're going to do that on a budget. Guys, we're almost there, but for those rod holders, here's what you're hunting right there. Let's go to plumbing. All right, guys, every kayak fisherman's best friend when you're trying to rig your yak, PVC pipe. What we're looking for, particularly for these rod holders, is 1.5 inches. But this right here, that ain't going to do what we're wanting to do. So let's put that back. Let's move a little further down the aisle. Check it out. This can be your playground if you're rigging your kayak. This is what we want right here. It's 1.5 inch PVC and it's a 10-foot long piece. And check it out, guys, $9.26. So if I recall correctly, this crate was roughly 12 bucks, right? So we're gonna be in this right now, before tax, $21 for a pretty badass starter crate. But we're not quite finished just yet. Let's go get what we need still. Guessed it. Next step is we got to decorate these things a little bit, right? Who wants a plain old white PVC rod holder? We're going to paint ours orange. If you live in America like we do, it's a free country. You can paint your rod holders any color you want. Today, I'm picking orange. Now, full disclosure, I'm not going to buy it because I've already got some at home. But just so we know, that's another $6.48. Hey guys, we got the material to make our rod holders. We got a way to purdy them up, make them look nice. Next thing we need is a way to connect them to our crate, right? And here's how we're gonna do that with 11-inch zip ties. Now, cheat code, check them out. It's $17 for 100 zip ties. But here's the cheat code, ready? Let me show you how you do this exactly. First off, you put those back right there and you leave them there. And on your way home, swing by your nearest Harbor Freight and get your zip ties there, because you can get this same package, 100 zip ties, 11 inches long, for like something like $3.50. So get your zip ties there. Again, full disclosure, I'm not buying them at all today because I have about 500 of them at home, so we're all good on that. And yeah, mine came from Harbor Freight. Okay guys, first, this is just a little glimpse of everything you're going to need for this project. Start, of course, is your crate and your piece of PVC that we just bought at Home Depot. Then, here are the zip ties that I was telling you about from Harbor Freight. That's $3.50. And a can of spray paint, any color will do. After that, you're going to need a wire coat hanger, or 4 or 5, but for this purpose, we're going to use 1. And a pair of wire cutters or something that you can cut wire with. You're going to need a heat gun. You can also use a propane torch if you prefer, but we're going to use a heat gun today. You're going to need a tape measure. You're going to need some type of a saw. I really recommend a jigsaw, but today we're going to be using a Sawzall. Make it interesting. You're going to need a drill motor. You're going to need 2 different drill bits. I'm going to use a 3/4 inch paddle bit and a 1/4 inch bit also. Then you're going to need a bottle of wine or a bottle of beer, whichever you prefer. You'll see what that's for here in a minute. Okay, so step 1 is we got to cut this PVC pipe. We're going to cut it. We're going to cut 4 pieces of it at 16 inches. I already took a second to mark them out for myself. I want you guys to know this. The first one or two of these I built, I got super detailed about, and everything had to be perfect, and just so it's not necessary, guys. It's a crate to go in your kayak and hold your crap. It don't got to be perfect. So let's cut these off at 16 inches for starters. All right, guys, the next step involves that bottle of wine or that bottle of beer that we were talking about earlier. But the thing is, we're not going to do anything with the wine or the beer that's inside there. We're going to use the bottle. And what we're going to do with that bottle is we're going to use it to take these rod holders and to flare out the tip. So watch this. So we're going to heat this PVC up. You can do it a couple different ways. I'm using a heat gun today. You can also do it with a propane torch, which is how I typically do it. But today we're going to use the heat gun. It's going to take a minute with the heat gun, but all we're going to do is take a few minutes to heat this up. And as it gets hot, this PVC is going to become very pliable. Now you can see, guys, that the edges of that pipe are starting to turn brown, and they're also starting to pull back. So that tells me that sucker's getting hot and it's probably just about ready. So let's give it a try and see if it's ready. Watch this. We're going to turn off the heat gun now. We're going to move fairly quickly because this thing will cool off in a hurry. We're going to turn it off. We're going to take this wine bottle and we're going to put the pipe down on the wine bottle, and we're going to push down. And look at that pipe flare out. Can you all see that? And we're just going to hold it there for a minute, and it's going to begin to cool off. And once it cools off, it'll hold that shape. Now look at the flare to that rod holder, guys. Now I want you to look. It's a little bit wonky as I spin it. You can see it's not quite perfect. But remember, it's going in a milk crate in the back of your kayak. We're not building rockets here. It don't have to be perfect. Also, you don't have to use a wine bottle. Anything that's glass or metal that's round will do it for you. I just find that wine bottle is like the perfect shape for it. So next step is we want to create a notch here for the spinning reel to be able to set down in. And here's how we're going to do that. We're going to start with power tools. We're going to start with a 3/4 inch paddle bit, as you see here. You don't have to use a paddle bit. It's just what I'm going to use. And remember, super precise here, right? No, we're going to eyeball this. We're going to start somewhere around 4 inches down in this guy, and we're going to drill a hole in it just like this. Now, as you see, we got the beginning of our slit for our reel to sit down in. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a saw and we're going to cut from the edges of that hole on each side straight up. This is where I recommend you use a jigsaw or a multi-cutter tool. Mine is out on loan to a buddy, so we're going to do it with the Sawzall.
Safety first.
Okay guys, so I was going to take a handoff trying to make that cut with a Sawzall, so I went and got my jigsaw. So let's, safety first. Let's get this done. Alright, so there's that step done. See there? That's the slot for that reel to sit down in. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Hang tight. Okay, so again, there's your rod holder, and as you set it down in there, boom, your reel can seat right in there. Hey guys, when you build your crate, drop me a message. Tell me what you did different than this one. Did you do it up more? Did you bring it down less? What'd you do different? I want to hear about it. Okay, so next is to figure out exactly how we want to place the rod holders on the crate. We're going to set the rod holders so that it's basically flush with the bottom of the crate. And we're going to mark the locations where we can attach to these more solid areas of the crate. I've already marked those on this pipe, so now as we're going to switch over in our drill motor, we're going to get rid of that bigger bit, and we're going to switch over to our 1/4 inch bit, and we're going to drill 4 holes in this pipe. 2 down here at the bottom. By the way, don't do this barefoot like I'm doing. Be smarter than I am. And then there are 2 at the top. Okay, so this rod holder now is, for all intents and purposes, done. The only thing left to do on it is to paint it. Remember the coat hanger? And you all probably said, why do we need a coat hanger for this little project? And something to cut that coat hanger with. Well, this is why. Because when you paint this thing, you're not going to want to touch it, right? You're going to need to be able to hang it to dry. And here's how we're going to do that. Super easy. We're just going to cut this hanger just like so. Just like such. We're just going to put a couple of bends in this hanger. Just like such. And now we got a small bend on one end, a larger bend on the other end. The smaller end, that's going to hold our pipe up while we paint it, and then we're going to hang it just like that. Super simple. Boom. That one's done, guys. We're going to take it, we're going to hang it up, we're going to let it sit out here in the sun for an hour or two, and she'll be all set. Now let's go do it 3 more times. Okay guys, time for final assembly. The toughest part of this whole project is waiting for the friggin' paint to dry. So remember the 4 holes we drilled here and here. What we're gonna do, we're gonna use those holes to attach it. And super simple, right? Go right through those 2 holes. And then you'll see here I drilled holes in the crate to correspond. Through there, back out. There's that one. Then we're going to do the same thing over here. So those 2 are going to hold it in there, but then we're going to beef it up a tiny bit more by putting a secondary. Let me clip this one off. Then we're going to put a second one through the same holes in the crate and just around the outside of the rod holder like such. And then we clip it short. And then we get our secondary one over here on the bottom. And there's your first rod holder installed. Now we're going to do that 3 more times. We're going to put 2 on the left side, 2 on the right side. So I'll be back in just a second and we'll show you what's left. Okay guys, project complete. Budget friendly cart for your kayak. There it is. And you were doubting the orange, but check it out. And I went ahead and did one more thing that was off video. And I did one more tube. You notice this one I cut shorter, roughly the same length as the height of the crate. This one is to hold the safety flag, and I'll show you that here in just a minute. But check it out, guys. The orange turned out, didn't it? And you all were all doubting me. I know you were. And now let me tell you this, guys. There's a lot of videos out there about how to make the most magnificent, amazing, incredible, rigged out, ultimate kayak crate of all time. And you take crates and you cut them up into pieces and you make a lid and you make latches and cords and all this stuff all over them. And that's awesome. But that's not what this is about. This is about a good basic crate that'll get it done for you on a budget. I spent about 30 minutes on it, and with about another 30 minutes to an hour in the middle waiting for the paint to dry. And that's it, and it's ready to go. If you're getting started, it's all you need. If you're a seasoned fisherman, it's all you need. Listen, I know I've fallen into the trap. I've had so much crap in my kayak that it's amazing it could still float with all the gear and stuff I had. It was all silly. None of it was necessary. You're fishing in a kayak. It's a minimalist way to fish. Get out there minimal. You don't need 5 tackle boxes. You need 1. Also, get up off that couch and do something that makes your day great today, because your life is short. Don't let it pass you by. At the end of it all, if you don't go, say it with me, guys. You don't know. See ya!